I set out to write 50,000 words in November in 30 days. So far, I have written 71,395 and it's November 27th. I still have 3 days left. Here's what happened. Not only did I write 50,000 words, by day 12, I had already finished 40,000, and by day 17, I already had a finished manuscript, a finished draft. 54,100 and something words. I don't remember exactly, but I had already finished drafting the book that I set out to write. And then I realized this is not the first book, and this is not the first book. What did I write? And then I started analyzing everything I read, and it turns out I wrote book number 4. Like, I literally wrote the ending before writing the beginning. So when I analyzed what I wrote, I actually have this fantastic cast of characters that I love, and I managed to outline the first 3 books in the series, and now I'm drafting the first book in the series, and I'm at maybe maybe 21,000 words or so. No, less, like 17,000 words in that one. But anyways, that's what happened. I finished drafting the book, and then I started drafting another one. And you know what? The words are pouring out of me like crazy. I don't know if they are good, but they are coming out of me, so that's good. And I don't know anything about writing, really. I don't know anything about other people's processes. I don't know how fast or how slow they draft, but to me, 71,395 words in 27 days is impressive. It's ridiculous, and honestly, it's kind of concerning because you don't know how much coffee I have drank and how many hours I have slept. I have drank a lot of coffee, and I haven't slept that much, to be honest. Today I'm breaking down what worked, what didn't work, what happens when you simply let go of your inner critic and really embrace the goblin that you are. So I started this month with a plan. Like, a very adult, reasonable plan, I think. Write in the morning, stop by dinner, sleep like a normal person. Yeah, that lasted maybe 2 days. Day 3, I was writing at 1 a.m. with another cup of coffee that I didn't need at all, and telling myself, like, just one more scene, let me finish this scene, while my husband was worrying that I wasn't going to sleep ever again. But here's the thing. The chaos actually worked. Not because it's healthy, because it isn't at all, but because the more exhausted I was, the better my writing became. And not because it's any particularly good, it's because I didn't have an editor in my mind telling me, this sentence is wrong, you could fix it, why don't you read everything again? No, the coffee was making me unhinged. When you are racing down the road to hit your word count, something changes. My inner critic just shut up. My characters started doing what I was telling them to do and started feeling real. And the pacing got better because I wasn't obsessing over every single word. So that in turn turned the dialogue sharper, and emotional scenes got messier, but in a good way. So the biggest surprise, I guess, was that when I stopped trying to write perfectly, I actually wrote better. And it wasn't perfect. Of course it wasn't going to be perfect. I don't know what I'm doing. But it was real and it was honest, and it was a kind of writing that means something, at least to me. Quick thing, if this is helpful, hit the like button so more writers can find this, and drop your word count so I can congratulate you. Okay, so mistake number 1 was thinking that the outline was the law. And I knew this from the beginning. It isn't. But I'm a plotter. I outlined everything from character arcs to scenes to everything. I planned everything. And then my characters just did whatever they wanted to do. I had a scene, this particular scene, I remembered that it was like on chapter 28, and I ended up writing it for chapter 5. What the hell is that? So what happened was that I internalized that your outline is a guide, not a prison. So sometimes the story knows better than you do. Mistake number 2, pretending that coffee isn't my entire personality now. Like, I thought I liked coffee. I like coffee, but now it's literally keeping me awake and functioning. The day I wrote 8,000 words, 1,000% espresso and bad decisions. Is this sustainable? Of course not. Did it work? Yes. Am I sorry? Not really. Okay, so here's what actually kept me going. The first thing is writing sprints. I just wrote from 25 to 30 minutes, stopped, went for a walk, played with my dog, had a cup of coffee. No rereading, that's very important. Just get the words down. And it turned out it was shockingly effective. Second thing was leaving notes for myself. At the end of every scene or every chapter, whenever I closed down a writing session, let's say, I left a note for myself saying what came next or what was the idea for what was to come. And it was surprisingly effective because it helped me not to face an empty page the next day or the next writing session. The next one, and this was very, very important, was changing locations. Like, my desk was fine some days, but sometimes it felt dead. So sometimes my dining room was better, sometimes the kitchen counter. For some reason, my bed was fantastic for writing. I had some of the best ideas there, and sometimes I even tweaked my outline to fit them. But it was killer for my back. But the best place was actually a cafe. Just going out, not being at home. It helped tremendously because it also helped me with people watching, and I got a lot of good ideas and descriptions from that. And the most important of all is never reread while you're writing. The second I reread, I spiraled, I started editing, I started deleting, I destroyed my momentum, and that it honestly doesn't work. It doesn't work. So just don't look back. Leave that for December. And the emotional stages of Novel November are wild. By week 1, I was super hyped, super pumped. Yes, I got this. Week 2, it was, okay, I'm going. Yes, I got momentum. Maybe I got this. Week 3, I was spiraling out of control. I have already hit 40,000 words. And my biggest fear was that maybe they were 40,000 crappy words. But you know what? I kept going until week 4. And by today, I already finished the challenge. I already finished 50,000 words and more. By week 4, it was either being overproductive or having a total meltdown. There was no in between. Honestly, the more exhausted I got, the more honest my writing became. And it turns out that when you're too exhausted to think clearly, your characters actually say what they mean. So here's what I actually learned. I write faster when I stop trying to be perfect. The story is better than I thought it would be, which is, kudos to me. Momentum matters more than motivation. I don't need to feel inspired every day to write. I just need to show up because discipline is more important than inspiration for me. I learned that even the messy word counts, and sometimes even they matter even more. Because at the end of the day or at the end of the month, a messy draft exists. And a perfect draft in my head doesn't exist, but there's something on the paper, something that I can edit. You can edit bad. You can't edit non-existent. So that's the story of this month. I set out to write 50,000 words. So far, I have 71,000. 3 days left in this month, and it was zero chill, total chaos, and you know what? I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud that I got to do this. I'm really proud that I showed myself that I can do this. And you know what? Revising is for later. That's December. That's future Jessica's problem. if you're doing a writing challenge, let me know what your word count is, how it went for you, what worked, what didn't. And you know what? Every single word matters. So leave it in the comments and tell me your biggest win or your biggest challenge, because that's important to discuss too. Mine was thinking I would have a normal sleeping schedule. I was so naive. And if you want more writing content and chaos, leave me a like and subscribe, because there's more coming next. Bye.